system of technology, a whole, just so many things. And when you look at Cuba, you're not just looking at Cuba, you're looking at the potential of people to be able to solve their problems. You're looking at ways, avenues, not to say that Cuba's perfect, heaven, fantasy land, or anything else, but to say that Cuba has shown by practice that you can take your own life, your own destiny into your hands and build. You can overthrow the chains that are weighing you down. And I mean, people all over have gotten that message and now are trying to not copy the Cuban experience, because I don't think that you can take one experience and mechanically put it into practice in any other place. You can only learn the lessons that are taught, and I think that certainly these lessons are still very much important to struggling people all over the world. Very much important to present people all over the world.
I hear you working on a new book.
Yeah.
Would you like to explain? This would be promotional.
I really don't want to go into my book now, and I'm working on it. It's like in process, on go, and when you see it, I hope people like it. I hope it is helpful to our movement. But I don't really want to get into really all the things that I'm writing about, because I've decided every single avenue I'm going to deal with. I have an outline, and it's pretty much more than halfway done.
Okay, every year when the Vancerama Brigade comes to Cuba, we find you here. Can you talk about why you come?
Well, first of all, I come for the faces, I come for the language, I come for hugs and a little bit of home brew. I come for, because my people come.
Okay.
And so I come. I haven't made all of them, but I've made as many as I've been able to. And it's been great, because I feel uplifted by the spirit that I see people carrying, that kind of let's get it on, that support for Cuba, that energy, that tension. I find it inspiring, I find it warm, I find it good. And I find it important, because I don't think that people in the United States are aware of how important it is to support people, and how much Cuba has supported just progressive struggles within the United States, and that they've always taken very principled positions in solidarity with oppressed people in the United States, and that we have a duty to return that, and to take a view toward Cuba in a very peaceful way, not in any kind of chauvinistic way. I think that it's important for people to support Cuba, for people to support Cuba's self-determination, Cuba's right to self-determination. Because I think that more and more, as revolutionary struggle develops, the issue of self-determination becomes more important. I don't think that anyone can determine another people's way of building a system, other people's way of celebrating their culture of struggling. I think that each process will have its own idiosyncrasies, its own national heroes, its own flavor, its own spirit, and that needs to be respected. Too often people have tried to just say that there's only one model for liberation, there's only one model for building socialism, there's only one model for creating revolutionary change. And I don't think that's true. And I think that part of Cuba's strength has been recognized the differences in other people's movements and respected those movements and supported, given principled support, whether they agreed with everything or not agreed with everything, but generally respected the right of other people to self-determination. And I think that we who have been born and raised in the United States have to understand that part of supporting Cuba is supporting Cuba's right to self-determination, and that no one has the right to dictate how Cuba should exercise democracy, and certainly not any George Bush, Willie Horton type democracy that is, trying to be that the United States government is trying to push as this cosmetic type democracy that they want to paint on the face of the earth, all form and no substance. So I think that supporting Cuba is a strong statement and a necessary statement, and that by supporting Cuba, we are in fact supporting all oppressed peoples and the struggle against oppression on a worldwide level.
I could ask you a million questions. There are several young people here who are doing some important things in their respective communities, and I'd like to introduce them and let them also participate in the discussion. Gail Walker from Hackensack, New Jersey, Andrea Jamont, and Dave Williams from Washington, D.C. Please.
I want to say that I just wanted to say that I think it's very appropriate to meet you here in Cuba. You, in my eyes, are a symbol of struggle, of the liberation movement. So I find it very appropriate for my first encounter with you to be here in Cuba, given my experiences here during the last week. I wanted to ask you, as an African sister who has certainly been a victim of police brutality, what your analysis is of the recent verdict in the Rodney King case, an African brother victimized by the same police some 15, 20 years later.
Well, I mean, my analysis can be summarized with the word racism and growing racism. When I saw the video of Rodney King, so many names came into my mind. I saw the face of Emmett Till in his coffin. I saw so many bodies hanging from ropes. I mean, the images were not different. I saw, like slavery. I saw the same pattern being repeated year after year after year after year. And I heard someone say that we have to fight to maintain gains. And I asked myself, what gains are we maintaining now? What gains exist? And myself answered, no gains. I looked in statistics, times, papers, newspapers. I asked myself, what statistics say that gains exist? And there are statistics like a black man in Harlem has less of a chance of arriving at the age of 40 than a man in Bangladesh. Is that a gain? I asked myself about the just thousands, hundreds of thousands of our youth that are dying left and right from crack or AIDS, and I asked, is that a gain?